Hello and welcome to the Philosopher's Angle, your daily French philosophical take on the news headlines. This is an AI-generated podcast based directly on the writings of the philosophers discussed, but like all AI, it can make mistakes. In the news today, October 9th, 2024, Joe Biden has canceled his trip to Germany for a summit on Ukraine's victory plan due to Hurricane Milton. The summit was set to be attended by 20 leaders, including UK's Keir Starmer and France's Emmanuel Macron, where Volodymyr Zelensky would unveil the latest version of his plan to end the war. Biden's absence has put the summit in doubt, although German Chancellor Olaf Scholz promised to reschedule. The U.S. president has been resistant to allowing Ukraine to use certain Western long-range missiles against Russia. Commentary inspired by the writings of Michel Foucault, The Cancellation of Power. A Foucauldian analysis of leadership and influence. In the aftermath of Hurricane Milton, Joe Biden's cancellation of his trip to Germany for a summit on Ukraine's victory plan has laid bare the intricate web of power relations that undergird international diplomacy. On one level, this development may seem like a mere inconvenience, a minor setback in the grand tapestry of global politics. But scratch beneath the surface, and it reveals itself to be something far more profound. A fleeting glimpse into the exercise of power as a diffuse, networked phenomenon. As Foucault so incisively observed in his magnum opus, The History of Sexuality, power is not something that can be seized or held onto. Rather, it is exercised from innumerable points in the interplay of non-egalitarian and mobile relations. In this context, Biden's cancellation can be seen as a manifestation of the subtle forms of control and persuasion that leaders wield in international relations. By opting out of the summit, Biden has effectively reconfigured the power dynamics at play, casting doubt on the ability of the assembled leaders to collectively shape the course of events. This episode also highlights the ways in which leaders are enmeshed in complex networks of relationships that shape their actions and decisions. As Foucault noted, leaders are not isolated individuals. They are instead situated within a web of social, economic, and cultural structures that condition their behavior. In this case, Biden's resistance to allowing Ukraine to use certain Western long-range missiles against Russia can be seen as an expression of the power relations at play between nations, as well as the internal dynamics of his own administration. Moreover, this development illustrates the ways in which power is exercised through subtle forms of control and persuasion. By leveraging his absence from the summit, Biden has effectively exercised a form of governmentality, shaping the agenda and tone of the discussion without even being present. This is a classic example of how leaders can exercise power without ever having to explicitly assert it. Furthermore, this episode underscores the importance of discourse in shaping power relations. As Foucault observed in Power Knowledge, manifold relations of power permeate and constitute the social body, and these relations cannot be established or implemented without the production, accumulation, circulation, and functioning of a discourse. In this case, the very language used to describe Ukraine's victory plan, with its attendant connotations of triumph and resolution, serves as a site of contestation, where different actors vie for control over the narrative. In conclusion, Biden's cancellation of his trip to Germany offers a fascinating window into the dynamics of leadership and influence in international relations. Through the lens of Foucault's ideas, we can see how power operates as a diffuse, networked phenomenon, exercised through subtle forms of control and persuasion. As leaders navigate the complex web of relationships that shape their actions and decisions, they must constantly contend with the power dynamics at play. Dynamics that are always in flux, always subject to change. Thank you for listening to today's episode of The Philosopher's Angle. Be sure to come back tomorrow for another reflective take on the day's news.